Welcome to the Mommy Therapist. We're ready for you.
I'm Kristi.
And I'm Sasha.
And we are moms who are also therapists to moms.
And we are passionate about supporting all moms through motherhood transitions, challenges, and beyond.
And we are so happy that you're here today. This is episode 7.
Thank you for listening to our last episode where we discussed self-compassion and mental health days and car tips.
Car tips. Yes, I loved the response we got about talking about values. I had some people come up to me and say, I had a really good discussion with my partner because of what you guys said. And we got a comment on social media that said, I really appreciate the advice about living aligned with your values. You've caused me to reflect on what I'm spending time on and what I want to be spending time on. Love that. You two are great.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, I even came home and had a conversation with my husband about it of like, how am I spending my time? And is that what I value? And do I need to make some changes?
Yeah, well, I have a confession to make.
Okay.
I have a big confession. I was a bad client.
No, what did you do or not do?
Monday, in regard to values, right? Monday, ironically, every single one of my clients canceled. Is that brand? That has never happened to me before.
Yeah,
in like
never.
8.5 years. It was so weird. And I was just kind of like pacing the house, and I called my husband and I'm like, hey, I'm pacing. And he's like, Sasha.
Yeah.
He knows what that means. It means that I'm like, I need to be doing something and I don't know what it is because my kids were at school and I should be working and making money. And he tells me, just read your book. Like he does. Just go sit down and read your book.
Mm-hmm.
I did not.
What did you do instead?
I worked. I did other things. I did stuff for the house and all of that. But then by the time he got home, he was like, you're exhausted. You're like mentally exhausted. Why? Mm-hmm. What are you doing? I said, I think I need a night alone. Like I'm going to get a hotel room and just go be alone or lock myself in my office and not let my kid, kind of a thing.
Did you just need to feel productive? Was that why you were like, if I'm not working with my job, I'll work in the home?
Yes. And that's where I came to this conclusion. Like, I really value productivity and being and contributing to my family. And Derek's been working a lot harder lately because, clients are low at this time of year because deductibles and all that stuff. So like work's just been a little slow and I feel guilty about it. I'm feeling a lot of guilt and shame over that. And
because I value
that. Yeah. And providing for my kids and my family. And when I wasn't taking care of kids, so I should be working, Yeah. So, and so you shouted out your hubby last week. I'm shouting out mine this week because he has given me the last 3 nights to myself.
Wow.
Yeah. Just to
recover.
I'm watching TV shows. I'm reading. I'm just staying away from the children and doing that. So I was a bad client. I'm sorry.
Hey, there's no such thing as bad. You had a hard day.
I fixed it.
Now we're fixing it. Yeah.
We're good.
We also got a few more ratings on Spotify and Apple. So if you are listening and you haven't yet given us a rating, hopefully 5-star, but whatever's honest,
please,
on Spotify or Apple, that helps us show up in searches and help other people find us. So please do. Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and do our check-in. Sasha, you're actually first.
Perfect. So mentally on my mind, I had a child come home from school early yesterday because she was so upset about some bullying stuff that's been going on. It's been going on for a while, but she has always just kind of acted like I can manage it. It's fine. Okay. I'm just ignoring it. It's okay. I don't really care. But it's something they said yesterday really hit home for her. And so
it really offended her or hurt her feelings.
Like I've put a shout out to the principal so that we can have a conversation.
Okay.
Yeah. It's gotten to a bad point. So so I'm thinking about that, and that's giving me some, this is a hard emotion to identify because it's very much like protective. Like I wanted to let her stay home from school today and she didn't want to go because her friends are being so helpful and they're like, oh, we've got you. Don't worry. If they come up to you, we're going to say something. And so she's like, yeah, I can do it. I feel protected. So what do you think?
I mean,
that's
like a mama bear.
Yeah, it is. But
like I'm hurt for my child, and I'm angry at these other kids, and it's all from like a place of love.
Yes,
but also maybe violence.
Going on.
Mama bears like will kill people if you mess with their cubs.
And I feel it in my bones. Like maybe I need a punching bag, or so let's go to a rage room.
Fire in your belly.
Yeah, it's a weird emotion. But yeah, fire in the belly. I do kind of feel that through physically. Yeah. Well, let's move into that then. Yeah, I do feel I wasn't feeling well earlier this week. I am doing better now. So that's good. But yeah, I do kind of have like that burning sensation in your chest, and then like my hands want to do something, which I might
Yeah, you need to punch somebody.
I gotta hit something.
Something that's not a teenage boy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I won't do that. Maybe a parent.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
We're joking. We're joking.
No, that will not happen. Let's see. Socially, I really have not been social other than just talking to friends like over FaceTime. Like, okay, Monday I did talk to a friend who's a stay-at-home mom for like an hour and a half. So that was cool.
Okay,
and we were just
you had some time to connect.
Okay. I did do that. Okay.
Good.
That was good. That was good.
That was good.
And then so that's socially. Where am I?
Self-care.
Well, self-care. I took the last 3 nights off, and Tuesday night I even just like sat in my office and I'm watching Bridgerton now.
Wonderful.
Yes, it's wonderful. I'm rewatching it so I can get to the next season. So yeah, I binged that, and then I went downstairs and read after Derek went to bed, and I just doing what I want to do and going to bed when I want to go to bed, and just taking care of myself, which is definitely something we talked about last week that like everybody needs, and then I fell short, Yeah.
How do you feel like taking those nights off, like to just be with yourself? How do you feel like it's impacting you? Do you feel like it's helping?
Yeah. So I realized that in my own therapy, my personal therapy, we've identified a part that feels insignificant or undesirable.
Okay. Yeah.
And so we've really been exploring that. And I realized, because I was just sitting with it yesterday, I was just like, I'm just going to sit here and listen to the silence and all of that. And that part came up. And so I was like, okay, let's get curious. Right.
Yeah.
And we kind of just had a little discussion as we do in IFS work. Right. And I really was like, okay, you need to write I am significant down on a piece of paper and like put it on your window so that when you're in your office and you don't have clients, you're not sitting there feeling insignificant.
Yeah, right. Feeling like you're wasting something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that reflection has been really good. And then also I think I realized that I had the guilt over Derek working more to compensate for what I'm going through. And I just, it's good. It's not an easy thing to discover, but yeah, it's really sort of reset my mindset to I can be more productive if I take care of me first.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the thing I wrote down for processing.
Well, you should hear the affirmation.
Right. Oh my gosh, we're so aligned.
Kindred spirits. We don't even talk all week, and then
okay.
Well, how about you?
All right. So for me, mentally, I have noticed I'm thinking a lot about my work, but not present, because I'm an anxious person. I always think future, but I'm thinking a lot about my future work, like my future career, my trajectory. This past weekend, my husband and I kind of had a talk about where we are now, where we want to be in 3 to 5 years, where we want to be in 10 years, and just kind of not even setting goals as much as just dreaming and thinking and, playing the what if, which is kind of fun, and just kind of seeing maybe what would align with our values, but also what actually is doable and how we can support each other. And so I've been thinking a lot about that. Emotionally, I'm not sure.
With emotions today.
I'm having a hard time because I just feel so in my head and also in my body. So I've been having a lot of tightness in my neck and shoulders the last couple of nights. I don't know if it's the way I'm sleeping, or I'm wondering if like some of my stress and anxiety is going to that place, which it does.
Symptomatically, that tends to mean you're feeling like you're carrying a weight on your shoulders. So
weight and responsibility, that definitely tracks. It's parent-teacher conference week, so we're having to kind of take responsibilities and schedule around that, and a lot of running around yesterday, which made me really grumpy. So maybe I'm coming off of feeling kind of grumpy and stressed. So
you need a night off too.
I do. I did this morning. I was like, hey babe, tonight, can we cuddle and then go to bed early? And he was like, yes, we can.
Yes, absolutely.
So maybe I'm feeling a little, I don't want to say weary again, but maybe I'm just feeling a little overwhelmed.
I'm trying to think of like a word about like dreaming. Like I want to say nostalgia, but that's like
hopeful. Hopeful is kind of that one. optimistic.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Socially, I spent some time this weekend with some of my best therapy friends. So I've thought a lot about this as adults. A lot of the time, unless we really make an intentional effort, most of our friends are what we call proximity friends. So they're the people that you see every day because of life situations. So the people you work with, the parents of your kids' friends, your neighbors, we don't really go out and make intentional friends. It's just the people we normally run into. Luckily, there's an amazing group of women here where we work that we all connect and kind of adore each other. And it's lucky that we're not just coworkers, but we're actually friends. And this weekend we went to a celebratory dinner and it was so fun to just sit together and celebrate and reflect on how we're grateful for each other, specifically you, Sasha. I'm not going to say details, but just how we've been inspired by each other and the space that we've been able to share together. So that was just really uplifting.
It really was.
And it felt really safe and also really fun, like such a good hit of all of the happy brain chemicals of like, I like these people and I can be vulnerable around them and we can really truly connect on like a deeper emotional level. So that was...
Well, then like 3 of them I haven't really been able to connect with on a friendship level. And so that was fun because it's all been professional. So it was very interesting to see.
Oh, like crossing that line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I felt maybe I'm the odd one out because I feel like I've shared space with all of them in certain ways.
Yeah, you probably have.
And so I felt really comfy. Yeah. And it felt good. And we had yummy food too, which is always great. For self-care, luckily, I'm getting my massage this weekend, which is perfect timing with the stress and overwhelm in my body. And then also self-care, this is the week where I get my lashes done. So this is one of those splurges that I do for myself. I'm not a big believer in a lot of like beauty stuff, fancy hair extensions and Botox. And that's just not kind of who I am authentically with my needs and values. But I started getting my lashes done several years ago, and I was so impressed by how much more confident I felt. As I've been aging, my hair has been thinning out, including my lashes and my brows and all of that other stuff. And because we work in a career where people are literally just staring at your face all day, I felt a little self-conscious about that. And I also felt like I needed to wear eye makeup to look more awake and look more presentable, but the makeup kind of irritated my eyes. Anyway, long story long, I started getting my lashes done and I just felt like it gave me such a feeling of self-confidence and I was able to show up without worrying as much and being able to be more present. And I've actually had a conversation with my lash artist. Shout out to Jersey. Follow her at August Eyes on Instagram. But just about the impact of even feelings of self-worth when we do those little beauty things that actually are meaningful for us. So
I love that.
Yeah. So I'm excited to get those done tomorrow.
That's a very I love that you're self-aware enough to know that about yourself and that's like what makes you feel confident. I think for a long time I was trying to like hide behind this is what a therapist should look like kind of a thing. And then I was finally like, you know what? No, I want purple hair. I'm going to get purple and blue hair.
Yes.
And I'm going to get tattoos all over my arms. Yes. And I'm just going to be the therapist that I want to be. And that will relate to the right
the humans in your room. Yeah. No, I agree with that. Yeah. It's not necessarily about looking how someone thinks you should look, but just about, again, identifying what's important to you and why.
And what makes you feel confident.
Yeah. And honoring that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. For processing today, I was listening to another one of my favorite podcasts called The Financial Feminist. This is hosted by Tori Dunlap. She became a millionaire at age 25 and essentially empowers women to make and invest money, to how to be smart with money, how to not let the patriarchy teach you that your value is not in earning. Anyway,
I need to listen to that.
She's inspiring. But in this recent episode, she mentioned something that she had been told, I think maybe by her therapist, which is, you are a human being, not a human doing. Yeah. And I wanted to bring it up with you.
Thanks for calling me out.
No,
it's fine.
Exactly what we've talked about. And even just what you were processing through, this idea that we always have to be doing, we always have to be productive, and that's where our value is. But what would it look like if you shifted to, how am I being?
Yeah.
How do I want to be today? Not what do I need to do today? What are your thoughts?
Well, it's very Buddhist of you. I'm loving it. Just being present and sitting with it. I think that's the only reason I was able to come to these conclusions that I came to during this break, was because I was just sitting with my emotions and letting myself feel the weight of it and feel the stress of it, and then be like, okay, this is okay.
Right. Like, what if we held ourselves, instead of to a standard of productivity, to a standard of authenticity? Instead of what did you get done, it's how much were you yourself today?
Ooh, that might be my new word, authenticity.
Authenticity.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's something my husband and I identified a couple of years back when we were making choices and we started having some regrets. Which I'll talk about later. But just that idea of how do you not have regrets? And we identified that our kind of words together were, we wanted to do things that felt authentic and intentional. So things that felt true to who you are, and then not impulsive or without thought, but like
or
intentional.
Worrying about judgment
by
others. Like that's a huge thing for me. We were just talking about that, like what other people think. And I think that's also a contributor to why I feel insignificant sometimes. It's because I'm like, I'm not important. They don't want to spend time with me, when really people have lives and I'm not the only thing in it. Right. So yeah. And I just have to remind myself of that. But if I show up as my authentic self, as I did this weekend,
right?
Yes. People, I made new friends.
It was wonderful.
Some people might not like my cup of tea, but that's fine. They don't have to.
No.
I like
it. You're a human being, not a human doing. Something to think about.
Beautiful.
All right, Sasha, what's our affirmation of the day today? Our positive thinking.
Here we go. Just, one day we're going to have to do something that does not connect so beautifully.
It just feels really awkward.
Yeah. So it is, I deserve rest, care, and time for myself.
Again,
I deserve it. Exactly. I think, it's just, how do we keep coming back to self-care?
Must be something that we need, or that I feel like I'm seeing it in the people around me.
And I'm wondering,
I deserve rest, care. What was it?
And time for myself.
And time for myself.
It is okay.
That time for myself one is something I feel like we talk a lot with moms about, because there's so much to fill our time.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically with our littles. Our littles literally need us to constantly supervise them so they survive.
Right. I mean, like, I have older kids. I can really just let them go. And I don't know why I'm not taking advantage of that. Does that make sense?
I wonder if it's hard to switch your brain from these little tiny creatures that need you every moment to breathe and to eat and to sleep and to... And that once they start becoming independent, it's like, hang on, I'm here though.
I know. Wait, I'm still here. Yeah, I have had that feeling of like, you guys don't want to be around me anymore, and I get a little bit, a little sad about that. But then my daughter will come up to me and be like, "Hey, mom, let's go make a cheesecake like she's done recently, and let's hang out." And and I had so much fun with the girls in Disney, like that connection that I had with them, and like sometimes they would rather be with their friends, but. If they want to go be with their friends, why can't I take time for myself in that moment?
Yeah, that's very true. I'm also feeling, or just thinking that, rest is kind of being still, and time for yourself can look like anything. It doesn't have to look like just resting. Exercise. Yeah, it could be going to the gym. It could be shopping. It could be taking yourself on a trip. It could be doing all sorts of things. And then also care. Care from my spouse, or care from my doctors, or care from my loved ones, or like self-care and physical care, mental care, going to therapy.
I think therapy is a big one for time for yourself, for sure.
Yeah.
And care, self-care, right? So I deserve rest, care, and time for myself. What does that look like for you guys? How do you get time for yourself and rest? Like,
which one of those three do you think you struggle with the most?
Ooh, probably the rest. Like it felt weird sitting in the silence. I had nothing on, no music, no podcast, no show, nothing. Just sitting in the silence and just sort of like listening and feeling that emotion. I don't do that nearly enough.
Yeah, I never do that.
Yeah, I know.
I mentioned this last time. I can't sit down unless I'm feeling like I'm productive.
Yeah. I give myself permission to do it like while I'm trying to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Right? Or
sleep is the only time.
Right. Or if I wake up in the night and I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to lay here and daydream, because there is, just so everybody knows, there is research out there that says if you're just laying there with your eyes shut and kind of in and out of sleep, there are still sleep benefits. So I used to tell people all the time, if you're still awake after 30 minutes, get up and do something. that's actually not recommended anymore. So
Okay.
don't listen to me sometime.
But we change when we get new information.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I like that. I think I struggle with the rest one too, unless it's like, I need to sleep.
Yeah, sleep.
Finding the value in just the rest of sitting or the rest of
but-
pausing, being still.
Is sleep still productive? I
Totally.
think maybe that's
Sleep
that might be what turns your brain on to like, I can go sleep. That's fine.
It's productive, yeah.
Because my body needs
My
it.
cells are rejuvenating.
Yeah.
My brain is processing.
Yeah. I have to. I wish you could see her face right now.
I'm making a face.
It's like,
This is
that's
uncomfortable.
all right. Well, let's call each other out on everything today. That's what we're doing. I love it. Okay, you're on our education moment today. What do you got for us?
Yes. Okay. So speaking of authenticity, this idea of regret, this word regret, I feel like has been coming up a lot in the people around me. Discussing things that they regret from the past, decisions they regret, choices that they made that they wish they'd done differently.
Yeah.
And it's bringing me back to this idea that we teach in DBT, which is dialectical behavioral therapy, called the WiseMind.
Oh, yeah. This is so good.
I love this. I feel like this is something we should all know about, but for some reason we don't. So I think using WiseMind is kind of the way to not have regret, the way to avoid regret, to make really authentic decisions. So,
Okay. I want to make this connection.
so
Tell me how this-
WiseMind, it's a concept that represents kind of that synthesis of your emotional mind, the feelings that you're having about something, and your reasonable mind, that the logic mind. So it kind of enables like that balanced decision making. Ideally, we are honoring our emotions while remaining rational. So we're going to have improved emotional regulation, improved distress tolerance, and improved authentic decision making. So if you think about something, let's talk about a decision maybe of buying a car. So knowing that this is something we want and need, our emotion mind, that's what we kind of call the hot place. So this is where we really like something, or someone else had this one and we have this idea that that's what we should be getting. We really like the cup holders or the color or whatever, and we get really emotional. Our emotional mind can be reactive. When we're in our emotional mind, reason and logic can be difficult.
Yeah.
It can also be kind of exhausting and chaotic and unreliable, unpredictable even. Emotions really shift pretty quickly. Whereas when we're in our logical mind, we call that the cool place. That's where we really approach things analytically and methodically, using facts and research, thinking about past experiences, maybe talking with other people, getting their perspectives to make a really like logical decision. Sometimes though, when we make a decision that's only in logic and we disregard our own feelings about it, there can be regret there. Oh, I did what everyone else told me I should have done instead of what I wanted to do. Or vice versa. I did what I wanted to do, but I didn't really take into account all these other factors.
Yeah.
Because I was just so excited.
Yeah.
Right? So WiseMind is kind of that synthesis that if you think of like a Venn diagram of your emotional mind and your rational mind, this is your wise mind. This is what we also refer to as intuitive thinking. So this is where we're using our emotions and our intuitions alongside any of the facts and perspectives that we've gotten so we can make an authentic choice. We can respond in ways that are both smart and feel authentic.
That's the only word I could think of either.
Yeah, and feeling authentic for what you are desiring, right? So if like we find a car we really like, there are lots of things we're excited about it, and then we go and do our research, and maybe this looks like a pro and con list or talking to people, figuring out like we like this car, but what about the reliability? What about the costs? What about the safety scores? What about all these other things? And maybe that influences us to say, well, what are the things you were excited about? Maybe let's find that in another vehicle. And we kind of go back and forth until we're in a place where it's like, I feel really good about this and I know it's a smart choice. When you do that, even if, let's say 5 years down the road, you get new information that makes this decision invalid.
Right.
Maybe it's like, wow, that really wasn't a very smart decision. I think there is still comfort knowing like, I wasn't impulsive though. And with the information I had, I made the best choice that I had. I heard this phrase that people see the choice that you made, not the choices you had. And I think that that's kind of interesting of like kind of giving yourself that grace too of making the best choice that you can and not judging yourself in the future when you have new information. allowing yourself to change presently. But yeah, WiseMind.
Cool.
Tell me what you like about WiseMind.
Yeah, I love WiseMind. I've never thought of it in a way of like analyzing a decision before. So that was really fun to have you go through and make the connection with authenticity. I like to ask my clients when I'm going into WiseMind and teaching WiseMind, what would it be like if everybody only thought in it with their emotional mind?
Chaos.
Yeah, our world would be,
because we're all just so impulsive, and emotions get so big.
That is a good word, impulsive. But then what would happen if we only thought from our logical mind, our logical brain, our
reasoning side? Yeah,
we would never connect with anybody. We would never, have good relationships with anybody because we'd all be judging and logical and
analytical.
This
was the right thing to do at this right time.
Yes, it has to do with this and that. Yeah. So when we come together with the two of those things, and it can be difficult to kind of analyze that, but I like your idea here of like, okay, this is the logic and this is the emotion, what things come together in that. And I never even thought about it as like writing it in like a Venn diagram. Isn't that funny? Because it looks exactly like a Venn diagram. So
yes, it does.
This is why we need to get together with other therapists, because we get other ideas and ways of discussing things and talking about things. And yeah, that's great.
Yeah. And I think a lot of times people use the word intuition as kind of this wise mind.
Yeah.
And I do think that can lean emotional. Like, I feel like there's a lot of check your feelings on something, really sit with yourself. Sometimes I like to use a flip the coin exercise, which is when you're not sure how you feel about a choice, essentially flip a coin. But don't flip a coin to actually make a choice. What I want you to pay attention to is, how do you feel while the coin's in the air? What are you hoping it lands on? That will tell you what you really want.
Oh my goodness.
Right?
Okay.
Because if it's like, okay, I'm either going to choose A or choose B. Let's flip a coin. The coin's going to decide. As it flips, I feel like so often I'm like, and that kind of tells you like what you're actually desiring. So once you know how you're feeling about something, then go into the research, ask your questions, get your information, and then sit with both of those. I've heard people even doing this, like really sitting almost meditatively of like, okay, how am I feeling in my heart? How am I feeling in my brain? And what does that tell me in my gut? Like where your intuition is, where those things maybe come together of what's going to be the best choice for me. Because let's remember, you can't always know like the right thing to do. Right. And I like to dispel that. Like, we're not making a right decision, because I don't think there is a right. Or if there is a right, you probably wouldn't know what it is till 10 or 20 years down the line. So what you want to do is try to make a good decision. Try to make the best decision you can for you and your family and your values and your needs in the moment, with your emotions, with the information you have. What's the best choice you have? And then you can't really have regrets when you feel like you've done that,
That's true.
Because you really felt like, I honored myself, so how could I regret what I did?
Yeah. In the moment, I made the choice that was right for me and my family and for my values. Yeah,
exactly.
And in that moment, that's what I did. And I know I did that, so I can't regret that decision.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And maybe there's grief with the decision because of the way maybe consequences came out, but I think regret is different than grief.
Yeah. I think I've had a lot of that in my life lately, where I feel like grief over certain decisions. And so, So that's a good, I'm trying to think of a decision I need to make so I can go flip a coin. That just sounds like fun.
I know, right?
If I can find a coin anymore.
Yeah. But I think you recently made a decision with your work.
I did.
And I feel like you really took time to look at your emotions and look at your reasonings. And I think that was a wise mind choice that you ended up making, which is why it took you so long
to
get there. And I think time is okay. But friend that's listening, if you find that you do struggle with regret, maybe this is something to practice.
Yeah. That sounds like fun.
There we go.
Very good.
All right. You have our lightening round. So do you have a tip to make our motherhood feel lighter?
Yes. And it's different. Again, right. I do different things apparently, but, so I'm going to teach you guys some sign language today.
Okay.
So P is hard of hearing, and she doesn't want to learn sign language, I think, due to demand avoidance kind of stuff. Mom says it's a good idea, so
I cannot do it.
I do not want to do it. But I have been learning. I found an app that's like Duolingo for sign language. And so I just do 15 minutes of it in the morning. It's called Lingvano.
Okay.
And I think it's only American Sign Language. I don't think it has other languages, but I didn't look into it, but it's very cool. One of the things that makes my life a little lighter is having that sign language stuff. I have children that like to interrupt me when I'm in the middle of conversations. Weird, I know. Kids don't.
Mm-hmm. I know. Your kids interrupting you? What? That never happens.
So I've been using a lot of signs like wait, which is really nice and easy. So when my kids are interrupting me, I just hold my hand up and you shake your fingers just slightly. It's kind of like a little wave, but they all know that means wait. And so I'm not stopping my conversation and giving them the attention that they're looking for, but I'm very gently reminding them that like, this is not the time.
And like, I've heard you, I acknowledge you need me, and I will get to you in a moment.
And
so
they're
forward,
like
and then
fingers.
like fingers. Yeah, spirit
fingers.
fingers. Like they're just, okay, spirit
It's really
fingers
nice.
a little bit.
Yeah.
I like that.
And then the second one I've been using a lot of is stop. So if I'm, I don't know, out in public and they're doing something they're not supposed to do, I don't have to yell across the room at them. So what you do is you hold your non-dominant hand flat, like you're reaching out to take something from someone, right? Okay. You hold that flat, and then you take your dominant hand and you do kind of a karate chop onto your non-dominant hand. So just stop. And you got to give the mom look with it.
Yes.
Like, stop.
Yeah. Well, ASL is very about emotional expression on your face too. Okay.
Yeah. And
so stop.
Yep.
Chop down.
Yeah. So look it up. There's so many things on YouTube. You can kind of look up different signs to try and have conversations with your children. I will ask them, do you want to eat? Right. You guys can't see me, but like, I use those things when we're at a party and they're across the room. So I can communicate with them in those manners. When we went to a concert, I took my kids to a concert, like one of our favorite bands.
Oh yeah.
It was so much fun. And I was signing things to them there because it's so loud they can't hear anything that we're saying. So I was signing a couple of
these things are useful even if you have full hearing children.
Exactly.
Being able to communicate things without having to yell if you can make eye contact.
Yeah,
the eat thing too, like you point at them like you and then essentially act like you're feeding to your mouth and then point at them again of like, do you want to eat?
Yeah.
You eat you.
Yeah, you can just point you can just do you eat, or you can do want, which is just like grabbing your hand and then creating a fist as you pull it towards you. Like, I want this. This is for me. Right.
Yeah. I love that.
Sign.
Thank you.
Learn some sign. It's
Learn
great.
a little bit of sign.
Not even just for babies. It's good for big kids too.
Yeah. Well, and I think like I'm just thinking about my kids when they are in their extracurriculars. Like my daughter, when she's in her gymnastics class, she will often like look at me and she'll sign like I love you, or she'll like want to mouth something to me like, Mom, can I have my water? And how helpful would it be if she just did like a W to her mouth and said water, and I knew what she wanted. So maybe this is something we can do together. Let's learn a couple of signs so we can communicate when like we're out of earshot.
It's fun. Yeah.
I like that. I've used sign with my babies when they were delayed on speech.
Yeah. And all of the normal ones like eat and all done.
Eat,
and
please. Thank you. All done. But milk, where you like squeeze your hand back and forth like you're milking a cow.
Yes.
But this idea of using it with our older kids, I really haven't even considered.
I know.
So thank you. I love this.
It's been helpful.
I'm going to start this today.
Yeah, good. I like it. I'm going to go flip a coin. You're going to start learning sign. We're good.
Yes. Wonderful.
Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for showing up for yourself today.
You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, or email us at themommytherapists@gmail.com.
We'd love to hear from you. Let us know what made an impact or what you'd like to hear in a future episode.
Whether it's taking some time for yourself or learning a bit of sign language, we hope something good happens today.
See you next time.
Take care.